Part of what we're trying to do here is trying to create, alongside lessons, to create your lesson guide. And part of the lesson guide is to include sort of your weekly outline of what you're going to be doing. So here is what I suggest. So we create a table, yeah, and we say the columns should maybe 5 and the rows, if you're 17 weeks, let's make it 18 so we include a header. Maybe make the cell spacing and padding a little bit less, up to you. Alignment center and 97. Okay, I'm going to make my usual background. You, of course, can choose different colors. Go. So insert. Okay, so there we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 18 down. Okay, so let's now, so it's easier to read, let's add some colors to the various lines. So if we get our row and we table row properties, go to advanced, and let's choose something a little bit darker than the original gray. Let's try that one. Too dark. That one. Too dark. There we go. Let's try that. And we apply that. Now what we can do is we can update the current row, or we can add this to all of the odd rows or even rows, or to all the rows in the table. Let's do it to the odd rows. Update. There we go. Now I want this one to be darker again, to be the header. Row, table row properties. Advanced. Let's go a little bit darker on that one. Apply, current row only. Let's call this one weeks. Because it's so dark, let's make it white, centered, bold, perhaps, maybe a bit larger. And then perhaps we can put and do the same thing. Assistant. Topics. Notes. It's up to you, whatever it is that you decide to do. Let's very quickly make that clearer. White, bold, center. 18. There we go. Okay. So my suggestion is we do week 1. Spelled wrong. And we do that all the way down. Now you can then link those out to the actual weeks itself. Then you can create the topics, intro, and again, if you have something called intro or whatever your first week is, whatever you're doing in your first week, you can link these things to those things. Here, assessment 1, and you might want to put to 15th of November. Up to you. You can then link that to the assessment. Now, what I've always suggested to people is to go from your course guide out to a book about assessments. And this book is always available and is giving the information to the students from day one. You're going to be doing this. You need to write 400 words, 6,000 words. You need to use APA, link to the APA. And at the bottom of that, link to the actual assessment itself, which can be hidden. Yeah? Or it can be open, but with a due date so they can see the information, but they can't actually submit anything. Now, that process makes sure that they're scrolling past all the information, then they're clicking out to where they submit. And that means because they have to go past it, they can't say they haven't read it, they haven't had access to it. I also highly recommend that you include the rubric there. And if you're going to have the students submit on a template, which I've shown you in lesson 7, I think, then you can use that template and have the template, a link to it available already. So students are not surprised when they come to do their assignments. I hope that helps.